brings me to yet another unspeakable truth. An ideology dominated by terms like white guilt, white apologia, white privilege cannot exist except also to give birth to a white pride backlash, even if the latter is seldom expressed in polite company overtly, it being politically incorrect to do so. Confronted by someone who constantly bludgeons me about the evils of colonialism in the 21st century, who urges me to tear down the statues of dead white men, who insists that I apologize for my white forebears, what they did to various peoples of color in centuries past, who demand that I settle my historical indebtedness to them via racial reparations, I might well begin to ask myself, were I one of these white oppressors, on exactly what foundation does human civilization in the 21st century stand? I might begin to enumerate the great works of philosophy, mathematics, and science that ushered in the Age of Enlightenment, that allowed modern medicine to come into being, that gave rise to the core of what human beings know about the origins of the species and the origins of the universe. I might begin to tick off the great artistic achievements of European culture, the books, the paintings, the symphonies. And then, were I in a particularly agitated mood, I might even ask these people of color who think that they can simply bully me into a state of guilt-ridden self-loathing, where is your civilization? Now, everything I just said is white supremacist rhetoric. I wish to stipulate that I would never actually say something like that. Neither am I attempting to justify the position. I'm simply noticing that if I were a white person, this reasoning might tempt me. And I suspect it's tempting a great many white people. We can wag our fingers at them all we want, but they are a part of the racism mongers package. For how can we make whiteness into a site of unrelenting moral indictment without also occasioning it to become the basis of pride, of identity, and ultimately of self-affirmation? This is not a world that we want to live in. There's an idea here that's correct. The right idea is the ethic of transracial humanism, which one associates with Gandhi or Martin King Jr. We, as citizens of this great republic, must strive to transcend racial particularism and stress the universality of our human condition and the commonality of our interest as Americans. The only way to effectively address a legacy of historical racism, which is a legacy that we are beset by, without running into a reactionary racial chauvinism, is to march on, if only fitfully and by degrees, toward the goal of creating a world where no person's worth is seen to be contingent upon racial inheritance, a world where racial identity fades in significance, a world where we learn how to unlearn race, as the writer Thomas Chatterton Williams has put it. Promoting anti-whiteness, and you can believe me, Black Lives Matter can often be found doing precisely that, will cause those advocates to reap what they sow in a backlash of pro-whiteness. The folks who think they can insist on spelling black with a capital B while keeping the word white in lowercase are in for a rude awakening.